All right. Let me make sure my audio's on. Double check that. Testing. Go check OBS. Testing, testing. Make sure desktop audio is. Yeah, looks good. Okay, where was that one link for audio? I don't really feel like playing classical. Put me to sleep, but let's see if we can look back in Discord. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Chad. Welcome back to ReactJS Live, where we go live and make React code happen. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm new to React in a lot of ways. In some ways, I'm not. I've been running the ReactJS Live group, which is now our official name, for well over a year, maybe more. Um, got about a year of React experience, but really, what does that mean? And consolidated down, I would say that's it's not a year's worth. I'd say that in hours, sometimes it feels like almost none. While other times it feels really easy. Working with React has been quite a journey for me, and I get advice from everybody that I'm working with. And right when I feel like I'm closing in on what React is and what it means, I definitely realize I have more to learn. I would say that if I'm going to talk to you guys about where I am with React, um, technology is an interesting journey. It's the kind of thing where my whole career, I've always worked with people that seem really, really knowledgeable. They'll be on the team and they will sound really, really knowledgeable about a particular framework, a language, a technology. But then when I get on the team and I think, wow, I'm intimidated by how much they know and what they create and what they're able to do, I realize that they're not as good as they may sound. And what I mean by that is I judge people who build web applications by the end result. We can all tell when someone's a master. They've hammered it home until it's completed. I've worked with, just like many of you guys and gals out there, I've worked with plenty of people who know everything about a language or a spec or how to build something, and yet they just never seem to produce something. So today's video, my friends, let me take a sip of coffee here in a minute, is about continuing that path as a webmaster who's been on the web for decades and still has something to learn from React. So I think that I wanted to share that with you guys that when we look at something like React.js Live, it's not just about me or my journey or about you and your journey. It's about all of us who have to contend with continually learning new technologies, and then it's about React. And I can tell you that the past year has been amazing. Learning React from scratch and poking around about sort of from the outside in. And I'm finally at a point where I realize now it's time to just code some React. And lately it's been Next.js with server side rendering. And I bring to the table, when it comes to React, understanding how to build full stack applications. When I go and I look at ES6 or JavaScript or the new stuff that's going on there, I think to myself, well, there's definitely a couple new methods or operators or high level functions that I need to understand or just use. And it's so funny when once you get in and get hands on with something, from 1,000 feet away, it sounds hard. Like today, I was watching a video about GraphQL, but then when you actually get hands on, it's not that hard. So today I'm going to work on the ReactJSLive.com website, and I really want to focus on a fast website. I've made the Next.js Create Next app to sort of set up the site. There's going to be some things that are so simple that I stumble with, but that scaffolding really got me out of the gate. And I'm going to pull up the website right now with no further ado. But what am I saying here? Yes, I have some weak areas in React, and I think a lot of the folks who join the groups on Facebook are looking to learn React. So, what better place to learn React than from people that are also learning? I'm not learning programming. I'm not new to web development. I'm not new to full stack development. So there'll be times where I know what I need to do. I just don't know the name of the implementation, and I need your help. If you're out there and you've listed yourself as an expert in our group, then there's time. We're going to figure out a way that you can go ahead and chat me or whoever's live on React.js Live and doing some code and put your 2 cents in and help. because that's how we all learn. And I think that there's going to be some things that I'll teach you guys back to. So today's goal of today's video is yet another long stream where I'm going to probably find some junky open source music, because if you run copywritten music in the background of your videos, it gets flagged by Facebook or YouTube. So lately I've been looking everywhere for music to play in the background. But kind of staying on point, we've got this new domain name. It is literally 2 days old, maybe three. And I'm going to document the creation and iteration of this website. And I really do, I really will focus on the themes and the graphics and of course the content. But I have a special goal with ReactJSLive.com to make it an SEO powerhouse. Where meaning, if you think about it, we've got our YouTube channel where we've got the URL youtube.com/c/ReactJSLive. Then we've got our Facebook group, which is called facebook.com/group/ReactJSLive. So those URLs coming from those authority platforms pointed at our website and bouncing traffic back and forth should allow us to rank really high. So I'm going to keep, I ran some speed processors like Pingdome against what we've got out there. So let's go to Pingdome, and I think they've got a tool. Take a look over here at the screen. It's under tools. Usually I Google it to get it, so forgive me there's uptime monitoring, page speed. I think it's tools.pingdome. So there it is. Tools Pingdome, there it is, tools.pingdome.com. So what kind of an intro was that? I'm just trying to tell you guys that sometimes when you meet people that know the nth degree about a technology, which I am a React newbie, okay? I'm somewhere between beginner and intermediate, and probably more like on the mid side to the closer to intermediate. I can set up the apps, I can deploy the apps, I know what I don't know. Some areas I'm going to be getting stronger on with you guys, whoever's tuning in to my videos in the future, to React.js Live. I want you to scratch your head and go, hey, React.js Live, what a great name. But the people behind it who just started, they're still learning. And I really think that content can be valuable too. Because if you go on YouTube right now and you type in React.js, you are going to get a super genius. These are people that are going to show you perfect React. Go straight to those videos if you want to learn. Watch them for hours, and you will become better at React. But I'm a hands-on learner, and I'm going to learn that way. Might throw in some of the videos in the background while I'm working, like I did the other day with watching, I think, Traversy Media, which has some really great videos, and it was some stuff about Next.js, and it brought me up to speed to kind of understand simple things like when I deployed to Zeet. They call it Zeet, so I remembered that. Or some of the tips and tricks that you can do with Next. And the guy has a great video where he ends up pushing directly everything using Now. Now, I was able to get ours to push directly. And let me just run a quick query against ReactJSLive.com, which I'm really glad to have that domain name. I feel like it's going to be funny one day when we look back and we say, look, Chad was one of the early ones who helped set up ReactJSLive.com and ReactJS Live, the YouTube channel, which we have almost 600 members now, and that's amazing. 30, 40 days ago, 35 days ago, our channel didn't exist. And so we just got the alias. We are at almost 600 subscribers. And yeah, in a lot of ways, it's my online marketing experience. And I'll call it marketing, but I also like to spread the word amongst all the larger groups. I'm not afraid to share some of my tips. So share your tips back with me. Bear with me while I learn React, but I'm going to learn darn quick. Every day I read, how long does it take to learn React? Some people say 4 months. Some people say 1 month. Some people say a year. I don't know. But I know I know that if I had a project to do coming up, which we have a few projects we're working on that had some deadlines, I promise you I will hammer that Google until I get all the pieces of code and make a quality product. So I've got a couple projects I'm making, one called Theme Stream, and I'm going to put it on Theme Forest, and I've been using Next.js with material design, and I like that. I feel like if I would have gone with Bootstrap, it would have gone a little bit easier on the UI side, but I'm learning more with the material design way to do stuff, and now I'm getting off subject. So knowing what you don't know is stage 2, right? When you get into something and you say, hey, I know React because I know JavaScript, you're kind of lying to yourself. But then when you get into it and you start learning what you don't know about the library, then it gets a little bit easier because then you're kind of like, all right, I need to pay attention to these things now. So I'm going to share with the audience out there. I need to learn more about the recent uses of hooks, use state, use effect, some of the other event-driven. I guess it's not exactly the life cycle stuff, but I really need to learn how to talk about the technology too. And that's another reason why I want to host live code conversations, because I think it's somewhat entertaining. And I know I'm getting off subject a little bit. I think it's somewhat entertaining for people to know and just hear and listen about particular technologies, almost like a podcast, because you're a developer or a programmer or a specialist, and you're just like, hey, I like listening to other people talk about the tech. If they're suffering about a particular thing, or if they have an opinion, it's interesting to me, much like some people like watching football or basketball. So I hope to create that with React.js Live using the series called Live Code Conversations. So if you see this video or you see me struggling and making what looks like newbie React.js code, don't take it to heart that that's what our channel is all about. We're going to have multiple playlists where it's going to be, and we already do, the live code conversations. We do an intro with you, we talk to you, and if it feels good and you feel good and everything goes good, then we're going to kind of set up a series of project videos where you can get together. Right now we have one called Artificial Galaxies with Mario. He's really coming into web. You could tell I'm kind of weak at React in some areas, and we're having a fun time learning through it. But hey, the website's working. It's created in Next, and it's got a couple little UI controls. It's got a little bit of a ways to go. But back on the subject here, you can see that out of the gate, where I deployed the other night with Brian, we set up a Z deployment from using create Next app. Let's double check the command line. And this isn't a tutorial. This is going to be me literally creating content for the algorithms out there. So in this early stage, this is like, sometimes you see some of the best YouTube channels out there, guys, and they've been doing it for 10 years, like some of the people I've watched, and they love to go back and grab their old clips. So I know for sure I'm creating some classic clips that when I look back and go, geez, I did not know React like I know it now. So just, bear with me. Do me a favor. Help us get to that 4,000 hour watch mark. We are already over 600 hours now, and that was 2 weeks ago. We had like 57. So in the past week and a half to 2 weeks, we've had a spike in traffic. YouTube's picking up some of our conversations videos because it's a type of content that doesn't really exist all that much out there, because now when you go to YouTube, what do you get? You get these perfect tutorials, really in depth, and that's great too. We'll produce some of those too, but that's not currently where React.js Live is today. React.js Live today is about having conversations with real developers, not the famous people, not the folks with 1,000 or millions of subscribers, and they're have all those special whatever, they have all these little like training tutorials out, and they sell their tutorials. This is about real developers talking. So I'm talking to the camera and I'm telling you that don't worry about it. React.js Live is so new. We don't have tons of traffic. We don't get tons of watchers at once. So why don't you come online, share who you are and where you are in your React journey, and you can take some of those videos and put them on your own CV. I really believe in documenting the experience that you're having going through any technology and getting stronger at producing yourself live online. Nowadays, it's really important, I think, to get that kind of skill set. So now that I'm all over the board, we're going to go to reactjslive.com, and I'm hopeful today to get someone. So look at this. This website is literally not even built out, and you can tell it's completely minified, and look at that. And we're very hopeful here to get a good SEO driven website. And I don't even yet know the strategies for the website, how we're going to want to rank. And I'm getting like tidbits of information from an SEO group that I'm a part of. It's called White Hat. White Hat SEO starts with an audit. Could be a better name. Chase Rayner created it. He changed the name recently. It used to be called White Hat SEO is Dead. He's now switching up the marketing to be an auditor for initial kicks off of SEO. But I really want the website to take advantage, and I think I've stated that already. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull up my little GitHub desktop app, which is also built in Electron. And if you're interested in Electron, we have a group, and I'm a little bit stronger personally in that. And I'm building a little bit of apps with that too. But it's all about React on this channel, and I sure do appreciate everyone who has suffered all the videos of me talking more than coding React. And my excuse, but also my point is There's no end to that on the web. There is just so much of that. So I'm hopeful to start to create stuff that just like makes you laugh because someone's like struggling a little, but they're laughing at themselves because they're learning. We can tell some jokes. Like today, Mario and I, our jokes maybe weren't the top jokes that we've got, but we try, man. And we've got a good energy amongst the two of us. And I can't wait until a third person, whether from one of our groups, joins us and helps us pair program. And we're really looking for someone who's considered an expert, considers themselves an expert, has written tons of React. Go ahead and contribute to the code base on the project. And you'll be surprised how quickly I will also contribute because I'm a quick learner. I've been doing JavaScript for more than 2 decades. And listen, I'll listen to any kind of direction and I'll read the documentation. So join up on that project and feel free to do it. Or maybe you have one of your own. So that we call that the Test Mario project, but it's our artificial galaxies. Now I'm going to switch over to the ReactJSLive website, and I'm hopeful that there it is right there, ReactJSLive. The website's out on GitHub, it's public. Setting up with create next app, something like that. That's the command. You can go look at the documentation. It was amazing. And deploying with their CLI was really easy. And deploying to their platform on Zia, even easier and free at the stage we're at. You get the SSL. I ended up changing the name servers on my domain name over at GoDaddy, and they propagated pretty quickly, and then the site was live. So I'm going to go ahead and see. I don't know if he's going to be available, if Dominic's going to be available, but I'm going to go ahead and get a YouTube URL. Let's go over and no, I'm going to bring him into Zoom, see if he wants to come over here. Now, he may not be available because we talked earlier, so I don't want to. The number one thing I'm learning not to do is get embarrassed at these live feeds. I mean, my goodness. Um, Hopeful to get famous one day for not being nervous. That's probably the only fame I'm seeking. But beyond that, sometimes on live you make mistakes. Sometimes some dogs bark in the background. Sometimes things happen. So I'm gonna go over to Discord and I'm gonna let him know that I'm live and share with him a couple of the URLs. I don't expect him to come in, but he said maybe. Now I like this guy because I met him over on Chase's stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and look for him now. And where's he at? So this little Chase Rayner SEO Discord group, you can get that over at White Hat SEO starts with an audit on Facebook, and it's Chase Rayner. He's got a YouTube channel. I bring him up all the time because it wasn't until watching Chase not give a flying F about going live and just building a community and talking about his stuff. I've met a few people who've come across our groups and they've got, some views or they have great posts, but they have no views on YouTube. And I think that like when people feel comfortable enough to say, hey, this dude, he's making SEO exciting, whereas SEO isn't all that exciting, he's getting a lot of people coming through. Now, I'm not trying to be a chase for React, but I'll tell you that I'm not afraid to just be myself and say whatever, like I don't get it, or I'm learning this, or show me that. So if anybody wants to talk use effect, go ahead and message me. We have a Discord here, and I'll go ahead and share that out too. Let me invite some folks. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to stick it over in the ReactJS Live group. I'm going to say, hey guys, join me. I'm live. Ask any questions or teach me something about React. Join here. So that's the Discord link there. Booyah. Hope the 2 or 3 or 4 real-time watchers that we have come over and join. That group that I just added, it's connected to 4 or 5 different technology groups we have that are focused on specific information. You guys will know me more for like starting these groups because I don't want spam. I want everybody to get jobs, but it's not about a job board. It's about technology. So that's why I have put everybody into one Discord, and there's some smart people popping up, and there's some beginners. So enough about the promo video. This one is about. Where's my live feed here? I think I didn't push the live feed to this React session. Let's see if it is or isn't. If it is, you'll notice that one of the tips I do is I actually steal a little bit of a link called a permalink. And let's see if I'm actually live. There I am. And I'm going to go ahead and comment on this. I usually say permalink, but maybe I'll just go ahead and put the YouTube. Go to. I think I didn't push the live feed. That's funny. That's live. Okay. And so, we got one live viewer. What's up? Maybe that's me. I don't know. YouTube.com/C/ReactJSLive. So I'll put that there, and I would really appreciate if you see this. Again, it's early stage of the channel. We want to get to 4,000 hours so we can monetize, so we can grow. YouTube treats you a lot different when you become a partner. And so just do me a favor. Go there, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. And also, if you're not that excited about watching me do React, we're going to have a lot of other smart folks on the show. So just bear with me. And plus, you guys are welcome to join too. That's what React.js Live is about. And also, just flip on the videos and let them play. We have hours of them. These are the early stage videos. If you know anything about YouTube, you want to get anywhere from 100 videos up to as much as 1,000 videos before that weight of the search engine on YouTube really starts to respect that you're committed. They're not going to just send you tons of traffic and a bunch of views so you get a bunch of subs if you're just going to disappear next week. So you got to stay consistent. And so like now that I've got this thing linked over here, I'm going to go open a new tab and I'm going to grab this guy. Everything except for the question mark query string stuff, that's the permalink URL. And then I'm going to go and I think I'm going to share that in the White Hat group. It's White Hat SEO starts with an audit. Now, I really want to keep this stuff SEO specific. So I hope that, not to violate our own group's rules. I'm one of the moderators, so hopefully Chase doesn't get too mad. But I'm going to say, hey guys, Chase gave me great tips about how to rank. So I started a new site and it's a technical live video I'm doing with a focus on figuring out our SEO strategy and the code that goes with that. So you're going to see me do some like researching and Googling and being like, I want to keep the website really fast. I want to keep it up in the A's. So if I have to like go less graphics, less imports, less whatever, I'm going to do that in stage one, and I'm going to focus on content, navigation. I'm even going to think through what is it that we want the site to be found for. Now, like I really want if someone Googles like ReactJS vlogs, I mean, I guess they go on YouTube and then get the video blog stuff going on there. I really don't know. But I do want traffic, and I want people to know about ReactJS Live as it evolves and becomes what it's supposed to be. So Chase had a video, which I'll probably hunt down while I'm doing this, that kind of showed me, hey, you could rank for these top 15 things, and it shows the most searched things after the keyword React.js. So after React.js, it was stuff like React.js versus Vue, React.js get a job, React.js whatever. It's not the keywords React.js Live. But I will say that React.js Live, I believe we're ranking. I'm going to check, and maybe I'll be embarrassed if maybe it's changed, but whatever. So I'm live. I'm going to go live over here on White Hat SEO is Dead, and the focus is going to shift from not so much heavy coding in React. I mean, like I've built, I don't know how many websites in my time, maybe a couple thousand in the decades that I've been working. And I know that doesn't sound realistic, but I really think so. I mean, my first company years ago was a small web design shop. That was after I started my ISP, which was the team actually sold it to GoDaddy later on, and that was over a decade and a half ago. And that was back in a time where web design companies were a new thing, and I had one for myself. I built websites for everybody, and I won't even bore you with all the stories, but I mean, I've worked for small companies, had my own startups, worked for the biggest companies in the United States. I've got so many stories to tell over and over, but this video is about making an SEO-friendly ReactJSLive.com website with Next.js, using React, using best practices for SEO, and that's what I'm good at. So along the way, I'll learn the application layer stuff. I'll learn to use the new hooks, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, and eventually maybe we'll have login forms for the site. But right now, it's going to be a brochureware website hosted on Zeet, nice and fast, really performant, okay? So let's go ahead and click post, and I'm going to share that over to there. Okay, and hope that Chase doesn't get too upset, But Chase and I talked on the phone once, and he was just like, dude, just go for it, man. Do what you're going to do. He did tell me the other day to niche down, meaning don't do too many things at once. I'm not sure if he fully understands the strategy, which is to have multiple technology groups, but they're all sort of using JavaScript as the core language, right? Node, JavaScript channel, Node.js channel, and React. Those things, even though they're different groups where people want to learn in a silo, they really are cross, and even the Electron group that we have. So I'm a little bit off subject here, but I'm going to go back, and now I'm going to get the YouTube link, and I'm going to go grab that, and I'm going to share one thing at a time. I already shared out the Discord group, and I'm going to invite Dominic now here in a minute, and we might switch this up if he's available to a strategy discussion, if he's willing to kind of live consult. I consider him an expert. I don't know. Let's find out if he's available, and I'm going to go look for him right now. Again, Chase Rayner SEO has a Discord deal, and then I'm going to talk to Sleepy Boy here. That's his little nickname. And hey, man, you want to join my live Zoom? We are streaming currently. There is only like 2 to 4. I'll just say 2 because that's all I saw. Live viewers. But I don't know if that's always accurate. I mean, like these feeds that push back, like after I get the report, sometimes it'll say like 18 live viewers. But then what I think is really good that I do well on marketing side, which is that's what we're going to do with the search engine optimization. Prepare this engine for marketing. That's why I've got the channel, YouTube, with all the right URLs. It's prepared to take off. That's why we have the Facebook group, well moderated, lots of smart people in there, and the right URLs. That trifecta is going to make ReactJSLive stand out. Where like some of the other groups on Facebook, they have 35,000 people, but I mean, what are you talking about? It's like a concert where that's gone out of control. It's like people posting stuff everywhere. The moderators aren't getting paid. We're creating something here called ReactJSLive, where we're going to have a series of things, which we've already started, live coding conversations, all kinds of like sub genres in there. People have their independent projects. People can join other people's projects live. And using Zoom, we've already done some paired coding, where you see 2 screens coding and a couple guys talking. I want to make it so there's guys and gals, there's 2 to 4 screens, and we're building apps. My favorite thing would be if one of these days we could all get together at once, like 4, 5, or 6 developers, and within a 4-hour period of time, hammer out a pretty good little application just for fun on GitHub and live on ReactJSLive. So I'm going to let him know that he's invited. I'm going to cover up the link here, I think. There we go. And I hit enter. Oh, now everybody see it. All right, if you come into my Zoom, come on in, okay? If you were fast enough to screenshot that and you play back the live video, you can come on into the Zoom too. But I sent that to him, so let's see what he has to say, if he's going to message me back here in a second or not. All right, focusing back on the application. Let's go back to Chrome and let's start. Now, I was given a bunch of tools and ideas on how to do SEO stuff. Now, there's some tools. I'm not a professional SEO, though I started my career doing it. And again, we're using Next.js so that we can have server-side rendering, and we're going to work through all of this stuff raw. This is not like I read a book and then I'm going to type and tell you that I know everything about this. We're going to learn this stuff live. So the other day I was on with some SEOers and I just took some good old SEO links. Could be better notes, but we talked about crypto. They talked about something called vidIQ. So vidIQ is an application. I may buy it live or not, I don't know. But it tells you if your videos are SEO friendly for YouTube or not. And so far our videos, if I go over here to YouTube Live, our channel, let's see if he's even available. He may not be available. He was out shopping, but let's see. I thought I heard something. I don't yet see him. That's ReactFlux, Sleepy Boy. He might be sleeping, hey? Let's see if he's replied back. Just got home. I'll join in about 7 minutes. Cool. Fantastic, man. I'm geared up. Okay, so for anybody on the stream, if you see that link, you can go ahead and come in, but I'm not going to share screens, but there's no reason to really come into it unless you want to come into the live chat. Otherwise, use the new Discord and maybe join Discord link that's over here, where we kind of talk about basics. Sometimes we talk about like code examples. So this is the Discord. Rather than having a Facebook with like the ones where they have everything, this Discord is about like, hey, this is everything, and you can all talk about any type of stuff. Most of it is client-side JavaScript stuff, but I mean like literally GraphQL, anything, man. I don't care if you want to start talking PHP. This is just for programmers. And then I've got. Let me go ahead and share over to our Discord and say invite anybody in who wants to come in from the live lobby and say, hey, Dominic is coming in and we are going to talk SEO technical a bit, strategy for the site. So if anyone wants to come in and code, like at Brian, come on in. And there's the link for that. So now everybody's got the Zoom link, okay? And I'm going to take a little bit of a sip of coffee and just say that why am I making these long videos? Well, if we're talking SEO here, and I hope that you can't hear. I got some puppies that we rescued in the back over there, so if you hear them crying, it's like we're working on the studio and making it soundproof. But why am I making such heavy videos? Well, the best videos you make are about 10 minutes and 11 seconds, according to some of the best SEO, the best YouTubers out there who are making money. But I've also been noticing and studying the algorithm that the longer that we're awake with our video, the longer that we're live, the more views we get, the more views, watch time we get, because we're going across quite a few audiences on the social sphere, and that's helping us grow. Whereas I've tried it before with the short clips, and you're just kind of hoping that you get picked up by the YouTube algorithm. These longer, heavier videos are creating a unique weight to our channel, and also I like to talk clearly. So we're just kind of waiting out for Dominic to join. He said he just got home, and we're going to go ahead and look at the most basic website I've ever done, which is ReactJSLive.com. So this can use some real thought. On a technical architecture perspective, we probably need to put a layout wrapping around it, pad the layout using some sort of style, some outer style to it. I saw it on the video. I know we could hack it and figure it out. It's always nice to see an example. It doesn't yet have material design in it. Maybe I'll choose Bootstrap. And maybe I don't care. Like what I care about first is that this thing is set up to be fast. And as I mentioned, we already looked at Pingdom. And I really feel like aside from that 404 that like is happening in one of the image directories, United Kingdom gave us a pretty fast return. So the Z platform that we hosted on is probably pretty fast. So let's check North America and do a start test on that. Let's see what this says. Now, I might have to stop the stream for a few minutes and let some of the dogs out if they start making a bunch of noise. They seem to know how, okay, so like a page grade of 92 comes in at an A. I don't know if there's a way to get 100 on here, but definitely this F on compressed components with gzip. I'm going to look into that and figure out what we can do on the Z platform and see if there's a library. Gzip is a method of compressing files. It is also a file format compression allows your web server. So I'm going to type in gzip, and of course there's compression, zit documentation. The zit, so I'll just keep notes on what needs to be done, and maybe at some point I'll stop talking and throw on some royalty-free music, which I may just try to do right now. Let me go over here to Discord and come to our channel, and I put something here: royalty-free music, tracks by composer Wolfgang Amadeus. So I'll put that into its own little guide, and I'll try to drown out the rescue puppies we have in the back. I kind of like throw it into all the videos just so you guys can understand who I am and what I do. I've been a remote worker for a few years now, maybe 5 years, and along that journey, I've been able to have a very large property where we've rescued a bunch of dogs that needed help. So they're all very healthy, and sometimes they're very barky, and that's sometimes not great conducive to the go lives. But we've soundproofed some stuff, and usually it's not so bad. Most people say they can't hear them, but it does distract me. So we'll see about that. So here's some Proud Music library. You know, I don't know if we're gonna try to find some hip hop on here or not. I don't think so. But I do want something a little more upbeat. So I'm gonna look for. See, there's Mozart, tons of Mozart, because like I don't want to fall asleep. What are hot tracks? Let's see what we got. Hot tracks. Japan. Honor and Pride. Royalty-free music. Let's see what's up in if I play that. I don't know. Let's see if it gets out of control. But I do want to try to turn it down. And that I don't see. Maybe I'll just turn it down on my volume here. I feel like I'm getting off subject. Okay, I've turned it down on my headset. That doesn't turn my mic down. Let me check OBS. Okay, OBS says my mic is still probably a little bit higher than it needs to be. Desktop audio is still probably a little bit louder than we want it to be. There we go. Learning, man. Okay, moving right along. That's helping me not be distracted by one of my puppies who, whether we let the little pup out, it cries, we let it in, it cries. So I'll probably have a website out soon, probably built in React. It has some of the little puppies that are for rescue. But moving right along, we have to share our YouTube channel. So YouTube. ReactJSLive. Grab the URL. Cut that. Now, where else can I share that? I'll probably put that in our React group. We got a lot of watchers. Put this in our React.js group and just be like, here. Hey, I'm live on YouTube. Okay, well, taking at this live. Exciting. Smash like button. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's pretty funny. A lot of the YouTubers make some funny videos talking about that. And there's the link. Hopefully, it puts a good video in there. Okay. Let it play. Shoot that along. Okay, back to this Next.js stuff. So I'm using Next, and I'm gonna go ahead and open up Visual Studio Code. I also put on our group a series of shortcuts like that I want to learn them. It's like how to like multi-comment out some lines. I can't remember it. It's like Shift Control K or Shift Control KU. I don't know. I gotta go look again. But I'll be using those while I learn along. And I'm going to double check what GitHub has to say. There's nothing to fetch. And I know that there was, so like we got this next config file. There's Webpack. All right. So I'm going to check out our head file. Head props. Got a lot going on in head. And then we've got nav. So ReactJSLive, there's our nav. The navigation is dynamically built up. And I want to keep the speed of this really fast, but I don't want it to be ugly. So, you know, we can switch to the logo, I mean, for a little bit. I'm going to use Inkscape, and that's an open source vector markup deal. And I might even export it to SVG, and I'm going to Google and see if like SVGs are more or better for load time. I just don't know. If they're not, we're going to go with PNG. And see like how the performance, the weight of the website goes. And so here we've got this document, and I'm gonna go open up our logo. Looks like our whatever we're listening to is definitely taking a shift. So we go to Kimboto and React.js. So we do have a React.js logo. Some conversations came up around the Atom logo, whether it's open source or not. For now, we're gonna go with just doing whatever feels right, which I think I'm going to open up this React.js. What is this? The cover art. That sounds like Dominic. There he is. Okay, cool. Let me double check OBS. Hey, Dominic. I have no idea why this music's playing. picked hot tracks and this is what it's gonna play. Enough of that. Dominic, how you doing? It's Chad. I don't know if you can hear me or if you're getting your mic. I hear some typing. We must not have. Oh man, that's some bad coffee right there. I don't know if you can see me or not. Hey, no way. If you're on the live stream, I don't know what dog is crying back there, but it's definitely crying in the background. So if you could help out, that'd be great. So Dominic, are you there? Let me message you because I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me. Get over to Discord. Waiting. Just mute myself too. Haha, doing it. Hip thrust that like button. Hey man, one of the dogs is not stopping. I don't know. I don't know if it's showing up in the audio on the live feed. Okay, I see I got a chat here. If it's not, then I can live with it, I guess. Otherwise, help me. All right. What do we got here? Hey, I see you're
I'm
in.
trying to figure out this audio.
Yeah, I can hear you. But you can't hear me?
Oh, you can hear me? Okay. So you've heard me like awkwardly breathing into the mic. So I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, maybe.
figure
Oh, you
this
know
out.
what? I'm muted. Can you hear me now? All right, unmuted. Let me see. Maybe I got the OBS turned down. I'm gonna check testing on my mic. Testing. Testing out the audio. Hands free.
Oh, I think I got it.
Is that better?
Hello?
Hey,
Yeah, I
man.
got it.
You got it. And that's why it's real TV. Dude, what up?
How's it going?
Oh man, I don't know if I told you, but we rescue dogs on our property, and I got this puppy in the other room. Yeah, I've told everybody because it's like they're always barking. I don't suppose you can hear. If you do hear it, let me know. I'm gonna ask for someone to help me get her back outside. What's up, everybody? This is Dominic. Our 4 live viewers, which is usually my family, my mom, my brother, my cousin, and no way in the other room. We're live on the ReactJS feed with Dominic Dio. What's up, man?
It's going good. I'm about to do some SEO stuff for this website. My mom's website, because I run all of her marketing and all that. So
That's killer, dude.
yeah.
Well, I don't, I'm basically doing like an SEO strategy with our YouTube channel where I've kind of learned that you got to have like anywhere from like 100 to 1,000 videos before like YouTube takes you real serious, on top of other things. So I'm creating like these long streams where I just code, among other types where we do live conversations. I think I might have told you a little. But
Yeah.
this is one of those coding ones, and you kind of know the history with the ReactJSLive. We talked yesterday, I think it was, on Chase's Discord.
hmm
And man, what a great conversation. I mean, I took a lot of notes. So I'm glad you stopped by, dude.
Yeah.
So
I saw you on YouTube for a minute coding when I wasn't in. It looked kind of crazy.
yeah, it looks crazier, but if you really know React, you're probably like, those guys are still learning a little bit. But there's always something to learn, right? But React's a big library. So I just want to do time check and make sure I'm cognizant of your time. Like, I'm glad you popped in, and I just wanted to at least give you a minute to kind of like talk about yourself and what you do. That way you always have that, for coming in and giving me any tips. Um, So I called you a pro, but you kind of laughed. But I mean, I think you're a pro SEOer and more. You got some great tools. So
Yeah.
what's up? I mean, how long you been doing this, the computer game, and what do you do?
Um, Computer stuff pretty much my whole life, but like SEO and all that, like my first year, I didn't even know I was doing SEO. I was just like messing around. So ultimately, it's, the whole timeline has probably been 3 years, but the first year I was just doing it on like random Wix sites and like web.com sites, web.com. It's a pretty bad host, but
Yeah, I've just muted down
yeah.
a little because the dogs are all moving to the other side of the property right now, but
Oh,
I was
okay.
listening. So yeah, web.com and like you also, I mean, yeah, I didn't want to look whatever you want to say. I don't want to bring you on here to give away all your tips to our 4 live viewers, but if you want to share them, I mean, gosh, I always take notes when you were talking, and like you can kind of see it on the screen share I've got. We talked about
Yeah.
VidIQ. A bunch of people brought up Coursera, but Cora SEO. But before all of that, so like you kind of like a you say you don't code, but you definitely are like a plugin. You know how to build WordPress websites. You know a lot of stuff, dude. And
I actually found out some cool stuff today. So
what you
yeah,
got?
like I know what like host to use and all that, and then like what plugins not to use and to use, but I actually figured out something today. So when you go to compress your photos on WordPress, you want to use short pixel. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah, short pixel,
Yeah, short pixel, the plugin. Instead of all the other ones, there's like 10 different ones.
like
Just
Smush and all that.
yeah, yeah. Short pixel is definitely the best one out of all of them. I just figured it out. Um, so now I'm converting all of my sites that have Smush installed to Short Pixel.
Yeah, I saw your message. I think somewhere on like one of the discords on Chase's Discord.
Yeah.
And you
It was
went
a
from
weird glitch that happened. I figured out I was doing some waterfall things. Do you know what the waterfall is?
why does that seem familiar? Webpack does some stuff like that, but it's probably not the same. What is that like where it's the files are broken up? What do you mean?
So a waterfall is like if you use GT metrics or if you use web speed test or webpagetest.com
Okay.
and you put your website in there and then you run the test, there's this thing that it shows called a waterfall.
Mm.
And the waterfall shows you what is taking up the most
Ah,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so you can go into each element and optimize every element to take up less time.
Maybe I'll do that right now. So again, I want to be cognizant of your time because I'm going to do a bunch of coding, but I really was hopeful not to steal your consulting time and your genius, but I also was like, hey, dude, if you wanted to know where I'm at, well, you do. I'm with ReactJSLive.com. Is like I literally am coming up with the strategy right now. Like,
Mhm.
so if you look at the screen, it's like the most raw scaffolding of a created React app,
Yeah, I'll look
and
at it now.
I'm sure you've used the debugger before, correct? In the browser.
Yeah, I've used that before.
Yeah, so there's like also a network performance tab, but what you're talking about is much different. It's a website that's actually a lot more in depth. Is that the case when you like load it and it shows you the speed of like the items coming in, or is there some similarities to what you were talking about there?
Oh, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the inspect element. You can go to gtmetrics.com
Let me
and then
check it.
put it. What was that?
I'm going there.
Yeah.
Am I sharing my screen? Do you see my screen?
I just on YouTube, I just see you.
Oh, well, you're in Zoom. You should be able to just use Zoom and see this. I'm sharing my desktop. Over
Oh,
on
okay. Let me just open Zoom.
yeah, over on
Yeah, I
YouTube.
see it
Let me double check
right
my
there.
OBS because I'm pretty sure I'm just sharing our video. Oh, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up. I need to share the desktop for the users out there. So there we go.
Yeah, there's
I've
probably
now.
gonna be a lot of visitors to this later on after the live.
There's going to be a lot of what?
You're probably gonna get a lot of views after the live, right? Is that what happened?
I mean, I think so. It depends on how I share it. Like my strategy is I usually go to like some larger sites and I embed the videos and then I put it across all of our groups. If I don't do that, the YouTube channel is not getting a whole lot of traffic. So let
Yeah.
me kick one of my dogs out. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, just if this is like a talk with you and me, one of you guys get out. Bye bye. Come on, puppy. Go go go. I have these two little dogs that just love playing. They never run out of energy. Okay, so I'm on GT metrics. So like again, being careful of your time. I don't know if we gave you enough of an intro. What's the name of your company?
Um, my agency is Silver Spine Media.
Okay, we went there the other day. So I want to give a big shout out to Silver Spine Media and Dominic here that you do audits and you do right and you actually do services like
Yeah, so website building, website SEO, Google advertising, and consulting. We used to offer social media marketing, and we just don't at the moment. But you know, if someone does need that, we could bring that back in.
there's so much to do, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah. But like the results come in the quickest when we just do Google Ads, website optimization, design, and all that.
well, I mean, like I said, like I mean, I've been doing the web stuff for a long, long time, and so just whenever I meet someone and I'm like, hey, this guy is hands on and he knows what he's doing, I'm a proud advocate of knowing you and saying, dude, like if I'm listening to the tips that you got and the tools that you got, then I definitely that's why I call you a pro, dude. So that's why. Is there anything else you wanted to share about what you offer to my four-person audience? There'll be a lot more views, yes, after this.
Yeah, yeah. Later on, that'll be viewers. Nothing about my services. I do have a tip for you.
What is it?
Yeah, so I forgot all about this until recently. Now I'm not going to
Okay.
go too in depth about it, but
Okay.
on your phone, there's an application called SEO Check,
Okay.
and if you do an audit using SEO Check, it gives you super basic things to go after, and you could bring your rankings up like a few notches if you go after all of them.
Okay.
So you can go from, let's say, page 4, position 5 to page 3 at the bottom. You
Hmm.
move up, but not too far up. So this is a good like beginner's tool for SEO.
Okay. And it's
Yeah.
called SEO check?
SEO check.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because like, who was it that gave me another? Someone said you could get a trial. It wasn't Scrapebox. It was Norn. Norn was talking about page.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help.
Page Google Page Optimizer Pro. He said that.
Yeah, there's page. Yeah, it's like $10 or $20 a month. You can go all the way up to $700 a month
I mean,
on that.
I have the full Moz account too, and I mean, I'm gonna use all the tools, and I've got a little history on it, but like literally, I'm at that point like where like I'm gonna go talk to myself about the strategy for React.js Live. Like, here's a question for you, if you can answer. Like, what was Chase saying to me when he was like, "You got to niche down"? We have that video where he Googled React.js, and then it was like these other high traffic phrases, and he was like, "Go after those." I think he was saying because the ones you can actually rank for, and then decide where you want to be an authority. Don't try to be like a niche authority where there's no traffic. So maybe this is what I'm asking you, dude. It's like you got a little bit of the picture that I have this fresh website. It's never been on the web. It's got no domain
Mm-hmm.
rank, no authority, and I want to. And I also I want to do ads. I want to do ad sponsorships in video and on mostly the social media platforms. So
Yeah.
I think that's where the bigger money is going to be. Maybe we'll put a banner or two on our website as part of the package. But I want to certainly like right when we were building the site and I typed in like um, ReactJSLive.com. I just put it in Google. It already had all of the videos from YouTube indexing on Google like within minutes. Like I was surprised. Um, that's the stuff I kind of care about. Like if I go to YouTube, let me show you and tell me if I'm wrong. And sorry if I'm all over the board, dude. But man, I'm so glad you joined. Check it out. Like I went to YouTube
Hmm.
under like not logged in. I'm in incognito mode. Let's
Yeah.
make sure I'm not logged in. Yeah, and I typed in like React. JS Live. Now, I'm not sure that that's going to get us tons of traffic. I haven't analyzed that. But the other day I checked, and then I guess, of course, because it's live TV, we're not there now. But occasionally I've noticed in the analytics, YouTube is starting to serve us up. Like we were sitting right here. Our channel was here yesterday when I did that.
Hmm.
And it was like, hey, subscribe. And it's like occasionally they'll put us out there with some of our videos. And I've just been like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like I've never really spent that kind of time on YouTube for the SEO side. Like here's one of my videos. Like we're on the top 20 for React.js Live right there, and that's a good start, right? Like it's not the greatest,
Yeah,
but we just started the channel,
it could
right?
be a just a tagging problem. Maybe you're not using the tags correctly.
I totally think you're right. I thought about that today, and I was using zero tags. So of course, dude, I got to tag it right. Title. We only
Yeah,
got
but
31 views on this one.
if
Look
you're
there,
just doing
there it
the
is.
title, what was that?
Look, there's our channel. Now this was sitting in position 3. Like we have a video that got 1,000 views the other day, and it was like all in one like 4 hour period, and it was like all from YouTube. It said like YouTube recommended you, and it
Hmm.
was like whoa. So now that video has almost 3,000 views. So I don't know. I'm all over the board. I'm just like a total newbie when it comes to SEO again, I guess, and really no one to talk to about it but you, man. So
Yeah, I think the thing is just the tags because, like, you know how 80% of website SEO is on page and then 20% is off page. With YouTube, I don't know the exact like metrics, but the title of the video is probably like 50%, and you'll only get 50% of the results if your title is optimized, and you'll get the other 50 if your tags are optimized.
okay.
Or maybe it's like 30, 30, uh, whatever
Yeah,
the other number is.
and like so like strategically it's like what am I trying to do like from an SEOer's perspective who wants to gain authority and basically get traffic, are we first gonna should we first look at our site and be like we should put up something about React.js versus Vue and then make a video about that because that was like the third most searched rank when we looked on Chase's video the other day. Um, you mind if I go over there and take a look at his video? I don't know
Yeah, it's fine.
if you got time. I
I
know.
have time.
Okay, good, dude. I just hope you're having
Yeah.
fun. So I'll just keep pitching your. Look, I'm live in 2 places here, dude. All right. I'll just keep pitching your services.
Get me
Chase
coding
Ray.
plans.
So
I want.
here's Mr. Rayner himself. He's been laying low the past few days, eh?
I think it's
And
just the weekend. He takes weekends off.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Which video was it? Ask me anything about SEO audits. And then if I can remember correctly, oh, he's monetizing on ads now, so good for him. He didn't used to
Interesting.
do that, yeah. Well, obviously I'm queued up to where I was at, and then
spend a lot of time learning and like being really good at. Because you're gonna have to think, you're gonna have to do the services, you're gonna have to do the templates, you're gonna have to do all the
I think he's
audits, you're
talking
gonna
to
have
his
to do
buddy
everything
here.
around that one thing.
Hmm.
Let's see if this is it.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that, and like,
Can you hear it okay?
I
I don't hear
wasn't too
the video
excited
at
Oh
all.
about
shit, I
doing it
didn't.
for like
Yeah.
SaaS.
That's because
Not really too excited about doing
So
it
I'll
for.
just show you. He starts to talk to me and he
Shopify has
basically pulls up Hrefs. Do you use Hrefs?
No, I don't.
No. It's kind of overkill, you think, or there. So this is what he
It's
pulled up.
it's good, but for what I do, like I just don't use it. I've been able to rank for my words. Like I don't get on top like page one, but I get like bottom or middle of page one, which is good enough. Um, and maybe I could get to the top if I used Ahrefs, but like I just don't see a use for myself based on what I do.
Yeah. So I mean, I was gonna look into that tool for a beginner guy like me who has a basic, simple website that I'm gonna like look to rank it up. What would you recommend I be using?
Um, I always suggest Uber Suggest because
Uber.
they have an SEO like analyzer, and then they have performance analyzer.
And not Moz. Nobody seems to like Moz. I don't know why I have that account. Oh,
Then
you ever used Moz before?
no, I've never used Moz.
They were like the long-standing winner for a while. So look, this guy. So Chase has like, oh God, this is so hard to show. So sorry. Shopify. Why did he put Shopify as SEO? Anyways, I don't want to get all over the board about it, but he typed in React.js and it gave us a bunch of like there. Let me stop it. Okay. So look, React.js, 44,000. It had a high rank of 37. He said that's really like the hardest. He's like, you're not going to rank for that. Go for something easier. And then it shows like React.js tutorial, React.js interview questions, what is React.js, and learn React.js.
Yeah, go for like learn what is. You can probably do learn and what is in one article. It just has to be like, yeah. Maybe you can do one article where you include those two and then do two separate articles. So you have 3 articles total.
Okay.
And then go for a tutorial.
And then a tutorial
Yeah.
about like how to make React, right?
hmm
Okay, cool. And so that'll be a good start. And then, so to his point, like that's going to start, hopefully we start ranking, then we get traffic. But like, I also have this content and I've got an audience over on Facebook and I can kind of help that audience go over and hit our website and do comments or engage with the content. So is there a period of time where I should start shifting towards what it really is, which is going to be like a live show? Like, or should I be trying to rank for that soon? Like vlog, like I'm really lost, but I mean, I haven't thought about it really.
Do well, what's another niche with a live show?
What's another niche? And that's what SEOers seem to be about is niches, right? So I don't know how to answer your question, like just off the top of my head. What's another
Like
niche?
go to YouTube, just
Okay.
type in marketing live show. I don't know, like website design live show or like Bitcoin live show. I don't know. Just type
Okay.
something.
Bitcoin live show. Like there's even ReactJS Live. There's a bunch of people that have coded it live or talked about it live. But here's Bitcoin Live, right? With
Yeah, so
583
these are
watching.
people streaming right now.
Notice that live shows are ranking. Like YouTube seems to
Mhm.
be giving a crap about that.
Do you
Oh,
have vidIQ installed?
I did not. I did not install it after we talked. Should I throw it in real quick or no?
Yeah, put it in real quick and then go back to that YouTube channel. Well, go back to that YouTube tab after.
Okay. Yeah, because like I didn't vidIQ because it was like I'm like, am I gonna buy this? And I was like, I just got sidetracked. Do I have to like sign up for free? My bad. What? Oh, I just do it
Oh,
straight from like here.
you can just go to Chrome Web Store or like
Okay.
Chrome App Store.
Should I just do that? Okay.
Yeah, just
vidIQ. Right there?
scroll down
There.
right there. Yes.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm talking about. For my 4 watchers out there, my man Dominic, he knows what's up. He's got the tools and the tips and the tricks. So I just install this
Oh
and
yeah.
let's make this happen, dude. And if you ever wanted to really learn any coding, I know that you don't want to go deep into development, but if you ever, I mean, I've got a lot of groups and a lot of enthusiasts, and if you ever want to learn some stuff, I'd love to pay you back some, however I can, brother.
Yeah.
Got this. But
Maybe one day. Like I'm not.
you're not dying to learn to
I
code.
have looked into DApps before, like decentralized applications.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
but
You're talking about
I
like
never.
Bitcoin stuff, right?
Yeah, like Ethereum apps. So
Yeah.
you can run apps on their like computer systems.
Yeah, almost it's slipping me right now, but there's an actual like simpler version of JavaScript that they have for their language that they write in.
Mhm.
It's very just like conditional logic based. It's like for writing smart contracts.
Yeah.
So, okay, so it brought me to this guy's thing. Log into your existing video
Yeah.
VidIQ account.
Just um,
I have the
you have
app
to make an account. So right there it says sign up free at the bottom
here.
somewhere. Yeah, create account.
Okay.
Down, right? You were just there.
Yeah, this one will make it real quick too. Like sign up for free. I agree to the terms. That it's gonna send me an email, and
Did
that's
it work?
well, I didn't press. I didn't press it. I went over
Oh, okay. I thought
app.com.
you did that already.
Okay, so I'm in. Authenticate with YouTube. Should I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Thank you for this help, bro. And then go over here, and then might as well take the React.js. So do you do this kind of work too? You do SEO work for obviously for Google, but do you help clients with like the YouTube piece of it all too, or do you feel that
I
that's
haven't ran any. I haven't ran into like a local business that needs that, or anyone that needs it. But I study it just for that in case I come across it. So,
let me check my email and I'll authorize this thing. That way the whole world can see the latest inbox I got. Such is the live universe. Read my email. Let's read my email live.
yeah.
Okay. We've been doing pretty good on the subs for the channel. So click this link to confirm. And I guess I'm confirmed now.
And then
Go
just
back.
refresh that page you were just
Refresh this.
on.
The which one?
Or
This
no,
one? Yep.
refresh. What is it? Just go back to that Bitcoin one,
Yeah. That's
the
right
other
here.
one right there,
Yeah.
and then click on one of the live videos.
Like this one?
Yeah, that's fine. And then refresh. You might not have to actually. Just scroll down right now.
Come on, boy. Don't play right now. And then scroll down. Okay.
Yeah, scroll down, scroll down. Keep scrolling. Okay, maybe the panel is shrunk, so just go all the way back up, and there should be a
Okay.
panel for vidIQ somewhere.
Yeah, just click on vidIQ, the Chrome extension. Should I log in?
Oh, you didn't sign in yet? Okay,
No.
yeah, sign in.
Okay. vidIQ. Sneaky. Gonna.
Is that like a hack or something? What is that email?
Oh, I have a catch-all alias, and it just helps with spam. If anybody ever
uh,
leaks your email, so you can do anything at before the domain. I work for them, dude. I just never installed the app. No, that's stupid. Okay, so I've got the app. I've got the plugin. Should I
okay,
reload this
now,
page?
yeah, reload the page.
Okay.
And then there should be like a little control panel that comes up on the right. Just scroll down a little. There it is.
Okay, yeah, I see
Scroll
it.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just scroll down some more.
Okay.
It's already expanded, so we can see their stats now.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now let's see if they have tags or anything. Scroll down a little more. And a little bit more. There you
Yeah,
go. So they have a
beautiful.
ton of channel tags and video tags.
Okay.
So that is definitely partially why they're number one for live streaming. If you compare these tags to the other people that are streaming, I bet you these are better tags.
Okay, let's do that. Should I do that?
Yeah, you can
Just for
click the
fun?
back button and then
Here,
or
just
yeah, just
I'll
do
leave
that.
these guys hanging out, and then I'll go back on this one,
Yeah. That
and
makes sense.
then the second guy, or see, they're not even live. But do you think I should check out these
Yeah,
guys
it's right below it, right
right there?
there. Now the live guy.
The other live guy, or no? Sorry, this one.
This is fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Let's see his tags. So he's got a bunch of video tags, but I didn't see any
And yeah,
shit. Yeah,
less channel tags, but more video tags.
interesting. Huh. So it could be a number of other factors, but that's probably part of the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, if we went further down this, okay. So that gives me a lot to work with, man. Thank you. That helps a lot. And then, so yeah, basically, like, I'm gonna work on the site. I'm gonna take your advice, and I'm gonna start off small. And then I'm going to like once I get small and get a little bit of traction, then I'll probably like pick your brain again. But I do want to be able to go on Chase's show and be like, dude, I started a new site and I've been getting it to like rank up. Come on, Bush. And I've been getting it to rank
Yeah.
up.
Oh, and then you can mention me to Chase, and he'll be like, "Who is this guy?
He
Is he
knows who
trying to
you are.
fight me?"
No, is that how it goes?
What?
Is that how it goes with Chase? He's pretty competitive.
No, I don't know. I'm just messing around.
Well, you were on his show one time, right?
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay. Well, I mean, man, I'm so honored that you would just jump on my live stream and like actually help me fill in some content because I was about to just start coding. But I'm gonna follow the usual rules. I'll try out some of these new tools like Uber Suggest, and I'll probably use Moz, and I'll put in all my competitors that I'll do the research. And
Yeah.
and yeah, so is there anything else we should BS about, or what's up, man? I mean, we're on the live feed. Is there anything you wanted to share with the world?
Um, Not really. I'd like to see some code you do
Okay.
over there.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be exciting, but if you want to see it, check it out. So, boy, get down. Okay. All right. So check it out. So I ran a command line tool that is so React.js is a UI library and it builds websites, but it can be very complicated to set up. So, and then there's frameworks that helps do things like for SEO, like server-side rendering. So one of them is called Next.js. And Next.js, when we're a developer, we kind of look at like how's the documentation, how popular is it, and so here's Next stuff. It's a React framework. And again, like traditionally, like when the Google bot comes along and you've had a single page application web page, and it's all mostly JavaScript, it may not index you very well, especially if you start having tons of pages behind. So something like Next.js React framework will do server-side rendering, much like WordPress will like cache out content to disk, or it'll at least serve the content up in a way that that the bots can read it. So that's why you use something like Next.js, among other reasons. So they have this like sort of like easy like ways of building stuff where you use their command line, and then they have their docs. And literally to do a quick start, I just basically ran this command, npx create next app. And then what it did was it created, this sort of directory. We put the layout in there, but it starts you off with a head and a nav and a little pages directory and, like a starting page, which looks like this.
So
So,
then this
yeah,
creates the home page.
yeah, the index.js is pretty much like if you look like at a WordPress app, like in PHP, there'll be something, I forget the name of it, but most themes will have it. It's probably index.php, but it's like a main, and it's like for the main theme, and then main is gonna load a bunch of stuff into it. So like currently, like index.js imports from layout, because we made these changes the other night, from the components directory, this folder called layout, and it doesn't use the JS extension, but there's like layout right there. So if you go and you open the layout folder, there's layout.js. You can see that in our layout, we actually import the nav, the head, and then this thing called children is basically going to get passed in. And I'm still kind of getting my head wrapped around the next way and using this React thing called children, but it's basically going to allow us to like load pages. And then so the pages are going to sit in this directory right here inside of pages. So like you literally make a page called like about.js and it's going to have sort of a similar construction as this. And we could probably make one if you wanted to see it, but it'll basically get imported dynamically, all used with a bunch of stuff built into Next for like the router and the navigation, the linking. You get a lot that you don't have to code yourself when you go in Next. So I'm a big fan. If you wanted to see a more built out version of this, that'll probably make a little more sense. And I don't want to come off like I'm like a React genius, even though I own the founding days of ReactJSLive. I've got something called Stream Theme that I've been working on, Theme Stream. And if we take a look at that, I'm going to show you Open Visual Studio Code, which is a really good editor for working with code. I did the same thing. I ran the CLI that created the scaffolding for me, and then I've been kind of working with like I use the breadcrumbs in mine. I have a footer, I have a header, I have a meta tag component. So like all these components, much like in WordPress, there'll be a PHP file for breadcrumbs. There'll be a PHP file for the main theme layout that brings in all the CSS. There'll be like a footer PHP. But in this case, like in my components directory, this is like all the pieces that make up the entire layout. So I haven't ran this thing in a little bit, but if I go yarn dev, it's going to start up a development environment. It's probably going to get mad that well, maybe I haven't started up the other env. Let's see. No, it'll be fine. So it starts this little local server, and then it allows me to, basically as I make edits, it does like, it reloads the page for me in my local test. And let's go take a look at like this test site. This isn't the ReactJSLive.com site. This is like a theme I've been working on. I think I might have broke it the other night too, so let's just hope that it's broken because it's live TV. But here it comes. As soon as it caches, these development environments are supposed to help speed up your development, like your debugging, and we'll just kind of wait for this guy to load. Meanwhile, while that's happening, you can see inside of, where is it? There's React.js Live. Here's my footer. This guy here. So you saw the components, but then I've got pages here, and Next.js came along with something that, like, when you name a JS file with these square brackets .js, you can make this dynamic page that uses something they call router, and it allows you to basically get like the same thing you get in WordPress, which is like those little category based URLs, and you can like link everything up. It gives you a couple other things like, document and app.js, but really, like, look at this about.js file. It's really simple, and it just basically has like some content in it. And here's again the index file where it loads in some components. And none of my apps are really that built out, but that's how early stage this stuff is. But let's see, like, you notice, like, here it is running in the local host at port 3000. I've got like this menu system being loaded up, and all these links, when you click them, they're going to actually show up in the address bar. I showed you that P directory, and that one file with the square brackets, I think it was called square brackets id.js, is literally routing for us, and it's dynamically stuffing everything in. So this type of stuff gives us server-side rendering, so that when I deploy this up to, Zit, which comes free, the same guys are going to make Next.js, or if I deploy it to Netlify, or even to like some of the providers you use, it's going to be able to use category-based, for URL, and it's all going to be like server code. Like when we build this, like there's a build command, it'll make it so it's SEO indexable. So there you go. So
That's kind of
that's
crazy.
yeah, it's a crazy little setup, dude. And like what's neat about this stuff on the left is I used material design. And I don't know how much further you asked me one question, I opened the Pandora's box, but like Material UI is from Google, and it's for theming. And so like literally like they have this thing called components, right? And these are UI components. And so I wanted something like a drawer. It really means it's like a navigation. And so I was going through this guy here, and they have like here's one you see in the common themes, like you click that and it does that kind of crap. Or you're like, okay, well, how does this stuff work? Like, and so all you do is you go to their site, they give you an example of the source code, copy paste, and you throw it in, and that's why, like, that's pretty much from Material UI. I imported that into our build, and that's why you can kind of see, where did I lose it? I've got everything open. That's why I've got this sort of guy, and I use the one that's for mobile. So when you collapse, it collapses to mobile, but it's still got the menu, but you bring it open a certain size. You can see I got a little bit of work to do. So like dynamically, it's going to push back over here when the viewport gets to be a certain size. Like this right here is for mobile, obviously. So the point is, it's supposed to be able to do rapid application development of UI sites, the front end, and you're supposed to it's supposed to be like cross browser, and just like really speed up your development, and it's cool.
Is
Yeah.
it light? Like ultimately, is it very light? Like very
I
minimal.
I would have to, unless there's like a local tool, I would have to deploy this to test this URL. Maybe you know something I can run locally. Um, but I can show you, like I did on Pingdom, that I did that create next app. I have not yet imported material design. So I was really turned on to the fact that when you were talking about the kilobyte size of images, I think that that's important for developers. It's like we want to squeeze the smallest out of this, right? So
Yeah.
like currently, this is maybe you can tell me, but like um, ReactJSLive.com does not have material design theming tools imported. It's as bare bones as it gets, and it's currently getting like an A, but at a 92 according to Pingdom.
Use web page test or
Okay,
yeah, web
let's try
page
it.
test.
Web
So
page test. .org or .com?
org.
Oh, org. Okay.
Yeah, so Pingdom is actually there's different types of tests. There's synthetic and there's real world. Pingdom is both. It's a hybrid, and then there's GT metrics. GT metrics is called synthetic, and then this one right here is called real world. Like this is the closest real world test there is.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
made an entire like my auditing system includes that in the notes, so that's why I know that.
What do you normally charge for an audit?
Uh,
I mean, I don't want to stick you to a price.
like
Let me not.
the first page is free, just like Chase. You know,
Okay.
it's just the website. But if you were like a business and you had Google Business and you had this and that, probably like 100.
Okay. I have a client who's got a really successful real estate firm. It's not hard to figure out who he is. He's over in Carlsbad, and I told him about you. So I mean, he just said, dude, I trust you. Just So we're going to be working on his SEO on top of tons of other things that aren't just web. So man, I appreciate you, dude, and I'll make sure to utilize your
Grant
services.
Cardone.
It is. It's Grant Cardone. Man. No,
Wait, is it?
no way,
No.
bro. Yeah, no, it's Alex Becker. Come on, man. No, no,
Oh
San
no, should I
Diego.
know that?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm not bringing him up on here is because we're live on Chase's
Yeah.
thing, and there's so many like aggressive dudes there. They'll be calling them in the morning, like, "Hey, I heard you need SEO." And so don't do that. Whoever's watching, that one viewer over there.
Don't call Grant Cardone. This is
Yeah.
offline.
So like, this is what came back: React.js Live, web page performance test. Is there a number? It's got A's, and then what's this? So I keep getting like an F on Pingdom gave us an F for compression, and then technically I was just reading before you connected that there's a way we can make Zeet, the hosting provider, which is free, that I deployed to, which is like they're in bed. They made Next.js.
Mhm.
There's a compression library. I can't even say it, but I'll get that in there. And so I want to go like start off with like A's across the board. Like I'm less concerned about graphics. Maybe you tell me like what's more important, like serving the engines or having a good looking website. Like I mean, what's the balance, dude? Like we want A's, right? Like that's what we
Um,
care about.
yeah, well, also, there's this guy named I don't know his full name, but he does like a lot of courses, and he's known by Cotton or Cotton, something like that. Um, and he's ranked terrible looking websites,
Huh.
but the images and the SEO is it's just so good that they rank on the first page.
So really, do you really think? I mean, my guess is that speed is probably the speed of your website is like kind of like the get in factor. Like if you have an amazing website with tons of content, but your speeds
Mhm.
are like at C's and D's, like how much of a factor is that knock you
Well,
down?
so I've switched a bunch of websites from GoDaddy to SiteGround, and after switching, I've gone to the bottom of the first page. But before, when I was using GoDaddy, I was on page 2 and 3, just jumping around.
So
Two
so
and
the
three.
speed made that much of a big difference?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, it seemed like a
Mhm.
big factor because I mean all the tools. So what am I seeing here that's this is just the best one to use. I'm gonna put this note in the notepad. So again, for anybody who's tuning in, watch out, Bandit. Your domain name again. Let me put it in the notepad here because I'll probably note it out on my groups. It's
The business name, my business name,
yeah, it's
Silver Spine Media.
Come on, boy. You gotta get down. We're live right now. Silver Spine. Yeah, Silver Spine Media. Like nowadays, dude, like people just want to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, and you definitely know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Um,
So here, what you could do is actually click on one of those results. So
okay,
you can click on, you can click
like
on the waterfall.
waterfall. Okay, because that's what you were talking about. This reminded me of the performance monitor that I was telling you about in the. It's when you inspect element, that's one thing, but there is a network tab that will show
Oh,
you this very similar thing. Did you not see my screen that time when I showed you? Let's
no, it was just
get
you
down.
and me. Well, my blank screen.
Yeah, because you were on just the YouTube. So like we can look at that, but like let's see how well in real time it is for me if I go to React.js Live and then I right click inspect element and then I click network. You can see here that I've got sort of this waterfall guy here too. See that?
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
know about.
Firefox has some really good stuff for that sort of stuff as well. And then you can also do stuff like source maps and all kinds of little things help when you deploy. You don't want those going out as well, but now I'm babbling. All right, let's go back to the site. There we go. React.js Live. I thought that there was a 404, but it might have been like an ICO file. So what am I to glean from this? I guess if I add compression on the fly, I'll go from B to A. And then as I
Mhm.
build out the site, we're going to do the strategy, initially some sort of strategy where we write a 2-in-1 article and then the additional 2 of the split. And they'll be about those top ranking kind of things that are important to our crowd. And then what? The old days, dude, we used to submit the URLs to Google, but we use what for now? Console now, right?
Yeah,
Or
use Google Search Console and you just use uh this one this one thing. I forgot what it is, but so there's a different one, like different sitemaps. There's an entire sitemap, and then there's a post sitemap, and then there's a page sitemap. And then I think it gets more granular, like a comments sitemap, and then two more things. But I usually just use the entire page sitemap, and it works out fine.
page or site?
Um, oh yeah, the whole sitemap, like site
Okay.
sitemap.
And it
Yeah,
just kind of crawls them naturally. And then
yeah.
so say some basics, dude. Like I've been on some pretty big SEO redesigns for some big companies with deep pockets, and we did things like make sure there's a trailing slash at the end of every URL. I don't know if any of that sounds familiar to you. All the in-page links, even if they're internal or external, it's the absolute host domain slash directory slash, and then don't do page extensions. It's extensionless URLs. Does any of that matter these days? Like,
Um,
like
like
the,
what do you mean? You would include the category in that
well, like
or
we're
something?
talking content management systems like WordPress, and WordPress automatically does it. But like
Mhm.
sometimes you'll see a link, and it's just like if it's a page internal. Boy, you got to get down. If it's a page internal link going back to home, it would just be like slash home. But an SEO tip that I used to know, and I don't know if it's still relevant, is it should actually be like the full qualified domain, reactjslive.com slash home, and then with a trailing slash. That's kind of the stuff that I learned in the old days from working at agencies just 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't
So
know.
for the homepage, no. Usually, if it's the homepage, you don't want it to say home. Um, you just want it to be the homepage because in the back end, it still knows that it's the homepage.
Yeah.
Like my homepage for my agency, it's silverspinemedia.com slash like uh marketing company New Jersey, but no one sees that part. Um, and it it works fine. Like I get some calls now and then, so I know I'm ranking for some word. Um, I don't focus a lot on that SEO, but
This is technical because like I've been with some big websites like LPL Financial. They have like
okay,
18,000 pages on their website, and there's some things when we use the content management systems where you check a box where it's like all links in the system are going to be fully qualified,
yeah,
full host slash the directory. And I think that was my point is like a lot of times maybe I'm way off on the SEO tip, but they were like, hey, we always want the trailing slash. I don't know if that matters anymore. And instead of doing internal links like that where they're relative, it's like it's coded for the absolute path, even if it's on certain pages. WordPress does it naturally, so I didn't know if that was still, but I mean, I'm just operating off old information. That's what I plan to usually do is use the fully qualified domain plus path plus trailing slash. So I don't know. Like,
Yeah, this if WordPress does it naturally, maybe it does it for a reason, but I've never
yeah,
heard, maybe it's so integrated nowadays that people just don't talk about it.
yeah. Like a lot of this would come up with like companies like did something for San Diego County Credit Union, they're the 10th largest, um, whatever that is. They're not a bank, but they're a credit union, and so
Yeah.
they use the content management system called Kentico, and it has like actual settings in the CMS that are kind of SEO related. But it's been a little while since I've been in the SEO game. I don't know if like Googlebot's like either doesn't care anymore, or if it's like still a best practice. Like one of them was don't have www dot in your URLs. Just go short, ditch the www. I don't know. So now I'm just kind of basically I'm not going to use the www. I'm going to force redirect and just always just use that path with
Yeah,
the fully qualified.
HTTPS.
Well, that for
That's what you.
sure. SSL for sure, but not be like because you could go to the domain right now and you can that'll get you there, and then that'll also get you there. Forget about the about part. But like, isn't there a penalization from the SEO engines where it's like the search engines where they're like, I don't know. It's probably just best to always force traffic to one or the other, and I usually just omit the www dot. So I don't know if you do
Yeah,
that or not.
I haven't seen a website that shows www dot in a while.
They hide it. Like it actually the browser's hiding it. Like that's what happened. Like if you go like that, it looks like it's not there, but then you click on it, it's in there.
I think there's a few like things like that, like with the domain name. I think it's just all integrated nowadays. Like people don't talk about it because like WordPress does it for you, Wix does it for you.
Well,
Um,
I make some WordPress sites, and like some of mine, if you have the dynamic URLs like the Bitnami, you can send multiple domain names to the same app essentially. And then in SEO, is that what's called canonical? Like you need to tell Google that these are the same site, so they don't like penalize you for duplicate content on the web. Like you can have multiple domain names, but it's and I've been around a long time. So www dot is actually a top level domain. It's a subdomain. It's like it's just another way for you to split out. So in the old days, I don't know about now, you used to get penalized for having them both being accessible. Like right now, the website is accessible at www.domain.com, and then also if you take that off because of my DNS settings, it's also accessible. And Chrome hasn't done us any service because they kind of hide that from us as users. But the Google bot's going to come in. Maybe it's so smart nowadays it doesn't care, knows www is the same as no www.
well,
But
I think if it's not directed properly, then it's a problem. So if your page loads the non-secure and the secure, then that's definitely a problem.
yeah, agreed. And that's also part of the same deal with like mine force redirects SSL by default with this. It comes with it with this
Yeah.
hosting provider. But like with the WordPress, like you got to look at multi-site or whatever. These are things that just come up in your configuration, and then you're writing .htaccess files. I just dealt with something this Saturday, yesterday, where I was helping a friend. Same thing. They were like, "Hey, can you make this show up?" So now we're getting too deep in the weeds about like URLs and stuff. But dude, this has been so super helpful just to have someone to talk about with this new site. Um, I mean, I'll just do very limited graphics, focused on load time, focused on content, um, and then I'm going to use the big platforms like YouTube and Facebook, and like really just do this go live stuff and share links. And then also when I blast them out, it'll have the URL to this site, and I'll ask the users to go there and do like Chase does, where it's like, hey, can you leave a comment? I'm going to give you a free guide to whatever, how to build React, and get that engagement. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, bro, you were the man. I owe you. I owe you 10 favors, man, easy. So yeah, okay. So that's what I wanted to drag you onto the show about, and just kind of give us a different flavor for React. It's like we're building a React site with server-side rendering with Next.js, and we're talking to an SEO pro from. I'm going to pull up your domain. Dang it! I should have had it ready. Starts with an S. Silver. Is that
Spine.
it? Silver Spine.
Yeah.
I like that name.
Silver Vine Media.
Silver Spine. Silver Silver Spine Media.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, dude, yeah. So I'll talk to my client too about maybe getting you involved in an audit, and I'll talk to him about the YouTube stuff, and I'll just say it's good that like I can Google this stuff and I can do it too, but it's good to have someone who's really hands-on and knows it, and say, look, man, do all these things, and then we'll get it done. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Speed is.
right on, my brother. All right, well, I'll get back to coding then, I guess, or maybe I'll go make dinner and just. But I'm so proud of this video. It's like SEOs. I still got a lot to learn on the React side, and my journey is being documented. But I want to see the success, and like as the success of this site starts to rank up, like I'll just kind of leave you with this: is like I'll run tools, I'll put it into my Moz, and I'll put our competitors in. It'll start telling us what to do. Um, when you type in React.js Live, we're nowhere to be found. Like there's actually a node package manager file, and I ran a scan on this, and their site's not that optimized. It's a little bit slow. This is like very big site, and we're nowhere to be found here. But we might start to show up here under videos pretty soon. But like literally the first video that popped up was a dude talking in Russian. And I was like, oh man, we're gonna be able to beat that guy. But if I go reactjslive.com the other day, look, our videos are already, you know, popping up. And then there's this dude. So wish us luck, bro. I owe you one.
Yeah. I know you can do it. It's just speed. The quicker you do it, the quicker it'll rank. You know, like the quicker you get everything out, the quicker it'll.
What do you mean? The quicker you get it out?
So like usually ranking takes like 3 to 6 months or so. So the quicker you can make the homepage, the quicker the homepage will rank. The quicker you do, you know, more live videos and then you link back to it, yeah, it'll rank quicker and quicker.
Yeah, I'll talk to you about some strategies offline. Like I want to write like a caching tool that the website goes and gets the latest video, and if it doesn't have a copy of it in its local index, and then caches and creates like the index on our blog at least. And I don't want to like get duplicate content, but I do want to make the website smart enough that when a new video goes live, it's like already presenting it on our domain on our .com. So shit like that's gonna be fun to figure out.
Yeah.
So okay, bro, I'll hit you up and I'll let you go so that otherwise we'll really start talking about some dumb stuff. I'll be like, should I put all the H2s? They'll be like, okay, bro.
H2 everything.
H2 everything. Man, I thank you so much, Dominic. It's been good rapping with you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna join my friend's call, so I'll be in Discord still. But
okay, yeah, may swing back by afterward after the coffee wears off.
Okay.
Take care, brother. We'll see you.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. Take care.
Right.
What do I press?
I don't know. It's always long goodbyes on this. Okay, see you.
Going now.
Bye, bro. Okay, so that was Dominic Dio, and you guys got some really good tips and some insights, and you got the behind-the-scenes view into the ReactJSLive.com website build. I know it's not deeply technical React, but you got an idea for some of the things I want to do with the site, like for the blog. There will be blog posts that are really deep about some of the things that really matter for getting rankings, like React.js versus Vue or React.js tutorial. These are all the things that we have to do that's bread and butter that we need to be doing. But also I want to put some technical things in there, like using Node.js up on the Ziet server to go query our YouTube list, movie list, video list, and recognize when something goes live, or even something that triggers it to go live, to go grab it the minute we are live. And the minute we're live, it's also going to be out on our .com site. And then on our .com site, we'll have the comments. Maybe we'll figure out how to grab via the YouTube API comments that are happening live out there. I've got to figure it all out. So thanks for being part of this journey. You got a little bit of the behind the scenes of what the current website looks like. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and go make some dinner and just kind of think about some of the things that he shared out. But if you take a look again, he's with Silver Spine Media. He's a great dude to talk to. He's learned a lot from Chase Rayner, and I have too. So just hope it's fine that everybody, kind of supports each other and sort of our endeavors. I think it really is. When we're on the Discord channel, had a nice conversation with him and Dan the man and Norn and Chase was at the gym. But it's like he's made a really cool community of guys and gals who are supportive. And over on the React.js Live side, I just want to invite you all to just keep learning and keep talking in our groups. And we'll look forward to getting to know you guys. And from Bandit, my little dog here. Ooh, come here, boy. Don't be so silly. Come here. Hey, Bandit. Say goodbye. Oh, you got me. Say goodbye. We're going to log off and go have dinner, okay, bud? Thanks a lot for stopping by. And we'll close this bad boy out. I'm going to stop the share and close out OBS. See you guys later.